Now you're connected.
Gotcha.
How you
What's
doing?
good, my G?
How you doing?
Man, good, man, good. Hold on one second. Let me
Yep.
All right, now we go.
Congrats on the new album.
Definitely appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Sincerely 3.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah. All right.
Sincerely 3.
Yes, sir.
How long you been putting that project together for?
Man, it's been a little minute, man. The last installment was 2008. Getting things right.
I think it froze on me here. All right, now we're good. Yeah, it froze for a second. We're good. Yeah. So it was you last release was 2018. Okay. It was part 2, right? That was the one.
Yep. Too Sincerely, 2018.
Would you consider this one the album?
Nah, this one it's still a tape.
It's still a tape.
Yeah, it's still a tape. A lot of people are taking it like they flipping it and saying it's an album, but it's still a mixtape. Like I look at this, it's like sincerely like, oh, Lil Wayne's No Ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I pretty much been putting it together. Like I feel like it should just be one of those things like where my day one fans can always connect. You know what I'm saying? Connect with you on. Be like, man, I remember the first one. I remember the second one. And now, part 3 don't came around. So that's pretty much, the vibe that I want to give from it.
What do you think you did better on this project that you did on the previous 2?
I just think it's more growth. I think I spoke more. I really do feel like I got more in depth and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like opening up more. You know what I'm saying? As in speaking about stories as in the ones I done seen. More so on part 3, it was like more so of the stuff that I did. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like on part 3, you hear the maturity. You definitely hear the growth, the change in the beats and stuff like that. But at the same time, like I feel like I got more deeper into my music. You know what I'm saying? Just start talking about things in depth.
Silver Spoon's a great example of storytelling from you. And I know because I'm from New York, so we're kind of like the roughnecks around here. We're like, oh, this one's trash. This artist is trash. But here's the thing about you. This is your sound, and in my opinion, you're one of the best to do it in your sound because we have a lot of New Yorkers that try to steal your sound, hijack it. And they sound like they're from Florida, but they're from here. What's your opinion on that? New York artists who try to take that Florida-style sound?
Say that one more time, the last part.
What's your opinion on that when there's New York artists that sound like artists who are from Florida?
I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, man, music is music, dog. I don't care what part of the world that you from or what side you from or what, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, music is music. However that you get your you know what I'm saying? It might be, like I say, putting myself in a person from New York shoes. Mm-hmm. It might be, you might just like the way Florida music sound. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably, he want to address the issue just in a southern, I ain't gonna say a Florida way, but in a southern accent. You know what I'm saying? And 9 out of 10, you kind of really don't know what somebody's background is. Like, his parents could be from here. You know what I'm saying? But you feel what I'm saying? But raised in Florida, his grandmother, and migrated to New York or some shit like that. So, like I said, at the end of the day, man, music to me, I got like an old soul. So it's like, if the music sounds good, I'm with it regardless. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty my take on that.
Besides your music, whose music sounds good in your opinion today? It doesn't even have to be in Florida. It can be from other regions.
My number one artist of all time is Plies. Like,
Shorty.
That's my number one artist. Like, Plies. I like Lil Baby. I love Lil Baby. Like, he got some real good music.
You did a record with him?
Yep.
What was that experience like?
Say that one more time.
What was that experience like?
He cool, laid back. Like I don't know if he's still like that because I caught him on when he was like first, just like when he was first blowing up. So he was real cool, laid back. Like you kind of tell like he one of those dudes that's kind of like a real reserving. You know what I'm saying? Like if he don't know you, He not gonna speak too much. You know, and that's kind of how I'm is like approachable in a way. Like, man, if I don't know you, I ain't gonna say too much around you. But as far as like professionalism, like real professional, man. Let's get in, let's get the vibe going. You know, stuff like that. He got in the studio, we worked with each other, and that was the blessing part about it. Like, it wasn't no, I sent him the record and he handled it like that. Like, we was in the same exact studio at QC Studio and really, you know what I'm saying, bonded and did the record together. So it was just a whole different vibe and experience. And like I say, to see where he started at and to now see where he at, man, it's like, wow. Like, yeah. I was really into, you know, his presence at that time and just seeing how he grows. So I'm proud of him, man.
From seeing how he grew from when he did that record, from how can you follow in his footsteps? Because in my eyes, you're the next biggest thing out of Florida.
Definitely appreciate it. Staying consistent. You know, like the team that I'm involved in now is like they giving me the what's the word called? The freedom that I always needed. Like it giving me the freedom to drop pound. Like I got records, man. You know, like I got plenty of music, so they giving me the freedom just putting out records, putting out music, and at the same time having a big support behind me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's kind of how I'm quote unquote following in Baby tracks, because QC did a great job. Like I think when Baby came out, he dropped like 4 tapes in 1 year. You feel what I'm saying? And plus all the other singles and then the features that he was on and stuff like that. So I think the biggest thing is just staying consistent. I think that's just with any artist or just anything in general, like being in the people's faces, staying in their faces. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's, you know, the best way that I could say of following, you know what I'm saying, following in that path, down that path.
Lil Baby was able to drop 4 tapes like you just said. How come there's certain labels that let you just drop whenever you want and no matter how much content that you want, and then there's other ones that hold you back?
I mean, I believe it come down to what type of situation you in, what your contract is, what the budget is. That's a big, like, that's a seriously big thing. Like, once you done dropped a couple of records, especially if they big records, like big producers or need a big marketing or whatever, that the marketing that was around it, and that record don't generate what it needs to do to recoup the label that money, they get set on the shelf. You know, that's like any business. You put in $1 million, but you only made about $100K. You think I'm gonna reinvest $1 million in you? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of artists is like, it get tricky. It's like it's a gift and a curse at the same time. You got to kind of be strategic on how you move and how you do things. You know what I'm saying? Like when they say this game is built on relationships, like those relationships come into play when, you know what I'm saying, when you're trying to do those things, being consistent. The producer show love to you. The whoever that you're trying to connect to do this marketing scheme or whatever that it is, and you know what, I'm gonna look out for you, dog. Just have me on the back end. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it really come down to what type of budget, and on top of that, what type of situation that you in with the label, whether it's a partnership or, you know, just the other 360 or whatever else that you know that you in with them. So I think it just comes down to the budget, man. You got to have the budget.
You're independent right now, right?
No, I'm an Atlantic/Island Prolific.
Oh, okay. And what was it like signing to them?
Man, a dream come true, man. It was like, man, we worked so hard, man. Like, I've been grinding for so long. Like, I'm probably like 10 years in now. Like, really, really, like, being in the street with it, traveling, my own bread and everything. And they gave me a deal that was perfect. Like, it was tailored to me. You feel what I'm saying? And the entity that I'm signed through, Island Prolific, Chris Jones, like, man, he a big dog in the game. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like I say, they giving me the freedom, you know, to run with it. And I'm showing results super early. Like, that's like a super blessing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, my Hot Boy record going crazy right now. And that was my second single under Atlantic. You know what I'm saying? So now it's, you know, you once you start, you know, you making a little noise, the building kind of get happy behind it. So like I said, man, it's a blessing, man. Like it was, the whole situation was a blessing, super blessing.
What's your favorite record off of Sincerely 3?
It got to be Silver Spoon and Catch Up.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 favorite records.
Same. Those are the same ones. The Ketchup, it's got like that party bop to it.
Yeah.
And then the Silver Spoon's got that raw emotion feel, something of a
Got
storytelling. Because I know
that
some of
bring
your
that pain out.
influences. I've heard some of your influences, like you mentioned, Plies, Trick Daddy, Nas, and Jay-Z, which I'm really interested from being from Florida. How were you introduced to Nas and Jay-Z? I mean, they're huge superstars, but who introduced them to you?
My pops, like my pops come from the old school, so you know it's Rakim and
Yeah.
Jay-Z and he listened to Biggie here and there, but New York artists was like he loved Rakim, and then when Jay-Z kind of started to pop, he used to stay listening. And I mean, damn near every goddamn day. If it wasn't for like Trick That or somebody like that, it was like Jay-Z. That's some parts of like the storytelling come from. Just having substance in your music. I think that's where me growing up on, having that type of ill and being around that type of music, I think that it kind of evolved of what I'm doing today. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like a reference sheet that I kind of go back inside of my mind and be like, damn, like this is what I grew up on. Like, let me touch on that. You know what I'm saying? I think it played a real big role in my career.
When you revisit these New York artists and you listen to them over time, what albums from Jay-Z, Nas, and Rakim do you tend to go back from?
To be real honest with you, I can't quote a Nas album or Rakim. I just know the songs when I hear it. But Jay-Z, The Blueprint.
The Blueprint.
Yeah, that I love that damn album. Like I love that. But Rakim and Nas, it just like it's one of those things.
Illmatic. You got to hear the Illmatic.
Once you hear it, it's like, oh, I know the words, I know the woo, just stuff like that. But far as like me going back and doing, like, I never just went in, just research. Because by the time I was old enough to know what was going on and shit like that, they weren't kind of, I wouldn't say relevant, but it wasn't my age group music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not to knock them and anything, but it just wasn't something like when Plies came out, I was like in my teenage years then.
Yeah, that's your era.
You feel me? So
yeah.
it was like one of those things. But when they records come on, like I can go back and forth with you on them.
I consider myself era-less because I go back to different eras and listen to it just to see how music has evolved over times and to see what the pioneers did, which is just, I mean, the stories Jay-Z and Nas tell are insane.
Most definitely. That's where I feel like that's where you get the formula from. Like that old saying that our grandparents would tell, like history repeat itself. Like same thing with the music game. Like you starting to see different, it's the same formula being repeated, but everybody just tweaking it in their own way. You know what I'm saying? So I do that all the time. Like just try to see how they did stuff back then to how it transitioned, and I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. And just, studying other artists in the game, what would you say separates yourself from other artists in the industry right now?
I think my mature level. I think my mature level, my character difference is a lot different than a lot of artists. Like I feel like once artists get on, they don't take it too serious. You know what I'm saying? It's more so like a fuck this shit, fuck the industry. I don't give a fuck. We in this shit. Woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Da da da. Like I said, coming from where I'm coming from and coming from that type of environment, you learn to be grateful for what the fuck that you done. You feel what I'm saying? What you done got a hold of and what you done accomplished and where you at in the game. Like anybody that I work with, man, I try to give as much game as possible. I don't withhold no information because I wish somebody did that for me when I was coming up. Just on that side alone, I think outside of my music, I'm different just in that boat a lot. Like when I get in the booth with a lot of rappers or producers and stuff, like definitely producers all the time tell me like, man, I just love working with you, man. You got good energy. You come in here, you smiling, you friendly, you introduce yourself, what's good, I stand up, greet a person like I was raised on that scenario. You treat the janitor just like the CEO. I don't give a damn. Like the building want to be clean without him. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I move around. But outside of that, I just feel like my speech and my wordplay and like what you had said, like the storytelling and my track, my beat selection it's a lot different than a lot of artists. But I just feel like with all those things combined, it just molds you into a different person. Like you can walk in a room and all of a sudden just like a light glow around. Everybody want to be, they draw to you. You feel what I'm saying? Like I just feel like I got that quality. You know what I'm saying? So to answer that question, I think that's what the biggest difference from me with a lot of other artists is.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on the beat selection in a minute, but from different artists in the game that I notice about you is that, especially coming on the show here tonight, you take a lot of opportunities for granted. There's a lot of artists out there that are just like, no, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, and they just have this like nasty negative mindset out there. And I feel as though you can't do that because you got to stay positive, like 24/7.
Most definitely.
The energy you put out, eventually it's gonna come back to you.
That's what you receive.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I definitely agree with that. Like I feel like on your way to the top, don't shit on people. Don't you feel what I'm saying? Because you always come back down, man. And you got to see and talk to them same damn people, ask them for them same type of favors. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the same thing as in like you climbing back up to the top. You feel what I'm saying? And once you shit on those types, you been on burnt your bridge. So like what you said, like this right here, I take this to the heart. It might be one day I might be super big and I got to walk back down that ladder and you bubbling. I'm like, man, what's up, man? I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you remember this. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I got you, man. I got you. Like, you know, that's how I work. That's how I do things.
I just don't understand why a lot of artists aren't like that in the game. Because I look at it this way. If you take an opportunity for granted, it's something that comes back to you more positive for you and you get more known out there. That's the thing. Taking everything out there, the more press, more, not turning things down. It's better for the artist.
Most definitely. I just think it's a lot of it have to do, it goes back to how you was raised as well. The home, the foundation. You know what I'm saying? The environment that you come from. Like a lot of these artists, like they come from a real rugged environment, and if something to them don't register in their mind was like it's worth it to them feeling it, that's the type of energy they give off. And I feel them on that because I come from that. I was like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, once you don't bump that wall 100 million times, you start some click in your head when you start learning about, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't going through that shit no more. Like you start and you evolve into something like this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, man, I accept everything. I don't give a damn that he got one damn follower. That's one more fan. That's one more supporter. That's how I look at
it. And that's the same way I look at my show. I'll interview someone with a big fan base like you, or I'll throw someone on that has 600 followers. That's just me. I have the same mindset to that.
Most definitely. I respect that. Definitely respect that.
Yeah. If more people were like that, I think the industry would be further than it is now. Most
definitely. Definitely agree. Definitely agree.
I want to get to the beat selection. The beats often sound the same with a lot of artists in the game, but what separates you from the trap beats is that you pick different ones. What's your process in selecting beats? And who are some of the producers that you work with?
The producer that I worked with on this project was the Loopholes. They do a lot of stuff. Boogie, Moneybag Yo, Squat, the producer. He pretty big in the game. Savage Puff, Nasty Boy, and Sean Naughty and Beat Gods. That's who did. I think it was one. No. Loopholes had two, but everybody else was, just their own. But I think when it comes to me with beats, like I think that's my strength in music. Like I can tell, like I work fast as hell in the studio, like super fast. Like I go in there, I don't listen to a whole beat. Like the intro got to grab me right on. If that intro don't grab me in the first like 3 to 5 seconds, next. Like I'm clicking next. You feel what I'm saying? I think a lot of the producers sometimes they be like, they get a little offensive on it, but they understand the process. After I done did it once, they're like, okay, I got you. And then once I go to record, it'll take me like about 20 minutes to record. Once I record and I come back out, it's like they already putting in line of the process, like, okay, you like these type of records. Yeah. Then it becomes fun then, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much like my process of doing that.
Why do you think there's a lot of beats in the game that sound similar, and how come it hasn't changed more? I know you're doing something different. We just discussed now, which you can hear off the project. Make sure everyone go get it. Listen to now. Sincerely 3.
Okay.
Explain that.
I believe a lot of people following the trend. Like if like for instance, like Baby, when he came out with them guitars, like them guitars beats, and it blew so big. So it's kind of like, man, I'm finna jump on that. Hopefully mine's blow too. And I think that the game don't kind of got to that where one set the tone, everybody tend to follow but expect the same results, if that makes sense. You feel what I'm saying? I just think that it's not a enough originality anymore. Like I hate when a producer want to say, "What's your type beat?" Like what type beats you like? Man, just send me. They act like I'm a visible person. You never just send me anything. Like I think the game is starting to box itself. You know what I'm saying? If this the popping sound, this is the type of hit record that only is gonna survive and that's gonna make it. Like I think thinking like that, those are ones that you hear one day and then they're gone tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like once we break that, you know what I'm saying, break that curve, I think you'll start hearing a lot more originality. This beat here sound the same. And like I said, I'm not a fan on my last tape sound like this tape. The same sound, the same caterings, the same, like I'm not, I think once you do a project, the next one should sound like totally different. It should be like you listening to a whole new you again, like, damn, this him? Like, word? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's why I like A Boogie so much. Like, I read one of his interviews, it's like, he makes sure he is detailed. You know what I'm saying? He's very detailed in his music. He may have like the same sound as Pitch, but the quality, the caterings, the beat selection is different each project. So that's pretty much how I think the game needs to be.
I agree. And quick question I have for you, because just talking about Jay-Z before and just beat selection, would you jump on a Jay-Z type of beat, that 90s like boom bap as they call it? Would you try that?
I got a handful of them.
Yeah?
We man, and I tell you, we so ready to explode. Like I got a handful of my A&R that loaded me up with them. And it's like, I feel like I'm gonna be able to bridge that connection where the youth and the
older heads.
The old, they can listen. It'd be like a feeling of both words. Like, man, I fought with him. I fought what he's saying because he's saying some modern day shit. And then the old generation be like, man, I fought with him. He's saying some real shit, but the beats, it bring me back to when I was growing up. You feel what I'm saying? So we got some bangles in the hole.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm ready for that.
Most definitely.
What song is doing the most numbers right now from what you've seen so far off the new project?
Outside of Spinning Bins and Hot Boy, because those was pre-released. Those the singles from the project. Silver Spoon.
Yeah. That's the
Silver Spoon and Silver Spoon and Lottery, matter of fact, neck and neck.
Those are the ones doing the big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to learn more about streaming. I never really get into that in my artists because I look at it as, because I'm a person that still uses iTunes. I buy my records, so I have no idea. I don't have Apple Music. I don't have Spotify. I go and I buy the records.
Most definitely.
Explain to me, how much do artists profit off of streams compared to when you download an album?
I mean, it depends. Like I said, that's when it goes back to how your contract structure, your percentages, your royalties, and then you got some contracts where it's cut where your manager get a cut out of it. You got some manager, they'll give you that break and be like, nah, that's all you. And then whoever the label get they cut out of it. You know, and then whoever else, like, man, people be having about 4, 5, 6, 7 damn people that they got to pay before they even see a dime come from it. You feel what I'm saying? So it really, I don't think that can be like a really straightforward answer, because it's everybody, you know what I'm saying, situation, you know, a little different. But man, it's some music in the game, man, especially off of streaming. This era, independent artists is the ones that's popping, man. They making a killing, man, a killing, because they ain't got to go through no label no more for big distribution.
Goes to them. They get all the money from their records.
They get all the money from their records. That iTunes and what's the other with DistroKid.
Yeah.
They go through them and get 100% profit.
Do you think
So
that bootlegging has gotten worse over the years? People pirating?
honestly, I think it'll slow down hell of a lot. Cause you don't really see the mixtapes no more and the beat jacks no more because everything digitally and at the same time it's copyrighted now. So
Yeah.
if you do, the label got if you pop it bigger, they got the right to snatch that shit down. You feel what I'm saying? As far as like you may hear and there catch, somebody selling CDs or some shit like that, but I think it done slowed down tremendously, like super tremendously. Like it's so much they can keep track on a lot of damn stuff now. Like digitally, once it's on the internet, it come with a rap sheet. How many downloads, where the downloads coming, the IP, man, it breaks that shit down. So I think that pirating, I think is at an all-time low right now, super low.
Yeah, and that's good for artists, so they get all the money that they deserve. Back
Most
in
definitely.
the day with the mixtapes on the streets and everything, the DJ Clue, if you're from New York, the mixtapes all over the place. And
Most definitely. I remember, like, I think DJ Drummer had got in a situation like that a couple of years back.
yeah,
With the the mixtape thing. Like since that, man, it's just been going downhill. I think it just, like I say, it got a rap sheet behind it now. You know what I'm saying? Everything got a record. You know what I'm saying, behind it. Like it keep track of everything. So the loopholes a lot smaller now, pretty much.
a line off of Silver Spoon, I believe it goes by. Surprised I made it out. I'm not that lyrical. In my opinion, you're more lyrical than a lot of these guys out here right now.
I definitely appreciate that. That's the first I done heard that in years.
A lot of these guys there's some people out here dropping straight garbage, man. Like as someone that has observed the game in and out from all the artists in the industry, like right now, I mean, it's terrible what's going on. I think I definitely think you're on that list. A lot of New York artists, of course, because that's what they do. Like from New York, they're gonna be top heavy on their bars and everything. But a lot of times, I just think that you're definitely way more lyrical than some of these artists out here.
Definitely appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that.
The storytelling, you remind me a lot of. This artist Kid Kid?
Say that, Ken?
Kid Kid. He used to be in.
Nah.
He's from New Orleans. You remind me a lot of him.
Oh, that's why I gotta check him out then. Yeah. Hell yeah, I gotta check him out.
Yeah, Kid. Yeah, check him out. You remind me of him. I have had
And
him.
I love storytelling, man. I just feel like that's how you connect with your audience the most. Not even just people in general. When somebody can feel like, damn, he went through that and he got the way he at, like I think that's where you get the motivational and the inspiration. With that's where a lot of people gravitate instead of just hearing a whole bunch of, like, that's why, like, at first I wasn't a super, super big fan of Hot Boy until I really, really dissected, and I was like, man, if somebody had to sit me down and be like, man, you really telling the story of what goes on in Florida. But I didn't look at it like that, and that ain't how I presented it. It was like, man, I'm just on some hot street shit. I'm just gonna ride with it. You know what I'm saying? But when I really looked, I'm like, man, I really told the story on what the hell happens in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So I'm big on storytelling, like super big. I feel like that's how you connect with your audience and just in people in general.
And at least the impact on the listener too, because they'll go back and be like, "Yo, he's nice. He paints a vivid picture." So a lot of these artists, like, it's a trend, like you said before. It sticks with you for a second, and you're like, "Nah, next one," because there's always going to be that party track out there.
Most definitely.
I just agree with that. Like with the storytelling, it sticks with the listener for a longer period of time. And speaking of storytelling, another artist that we could just compare you to in this aspect of J. Cole, no features. You're not a big feature guy.
No.
What's the reason for that?
I think that's where my ego come in at. Like, I'm a person to admit it. Like, I don't want to feel like by me putting a feature on a project or a feature on a single, that's the reason that it's doing good. Or that's the reason I quote unquote blew up. Or that's the reason why this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's where my ego just come into play. Like I work with anybody. You know, I don't give a damn. You fire up, man. I'm working with you. Like I'm open, but it's kind of hard when it comes down because, like, man, I treat my projects like my baby, man. Like, and it's like it gets sketchy because nowadays, man, you don't know what these rappers like. One day they can be this, and then the next day they do some crazy ass shit, and then once the record catch or the project catch, you be like, damn, you did a record with so and so, he out here on this. So it makes it 10 times harder to, I guess, to work with people. You know what I'm saying? Unless they OGs and or unless they got that stamp in the game where it's like, you know what, I don't give a damn what they do. He's certified on this end. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's when that come into consideration as in doing features. But other than that, I don't really too much, you know, like having people on, you know, on my stuff.
I like that answer a lot because I feel that way too. Because you look at a record like "Look Alive" with Black Boy, JB, and Drake. If Drake wasn't on that record's not going anywhere.
Oh damn!
Not as high as it. I don't want to be too negative, but it's not going to go as high as it went.
Elevating wine. I feel you. I definitely feel you on that. I feel you.
And now forever, everyone's gonna say that. Oh, Black Boy, JB. Oh well, Drake was on the song, so it totally matches up with what you're saying.
It bring that conversation about.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Now, if there was someone that you really wanted to work with, like someone in the tier of like a Nas and Jay-Z, who would that be? Would it be Plies, right? That's your guy.
Plies, I just, man.
Have you been in touch with him?
And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like we under the same label, like Atlantic. So I'm sure, like once I get to that point when I open up my mouth and be like, man, I want this to happen, or can y'all get me in? Like I'm sure, you know, it'll be a flick of a wrist. You know what I'm saying? But I want it to be right when it happens because I look up to him so much as in a mentor in the music industry. You feel what I'm saying? I just don't want to come with him. I got this for you. And it's some, you know what I'm saying? It's some half-ass done shit. Like, I want to come out on the right way. Like, OG, look, this what I'm doing. This what I want you a part of. What you think about it? You feel what I'm saying? And give them something that's all of me. Not some shit like, he like, hey, it need a little work. Like, I don't even want to have that type of conversation with him.
Yeah. And I want to get into this. And you have a big platform on Instagram, as everyone knows who follows you and is a fan of your music. In your opinion, how has Instagram and Twitter and all these other social media platforms changed the industry, the music, the game itself? And how can an artist build his or her platform up like you and other artists have?
Man, it done changed tremendously. Like, I'm glad I was coming from the era where CDs was alive. Like, you know how to put in groundwork, you know how to hustle. And I think that's where a lot of artists go wrong nowadays that's popping. They don't have that hustle, that ambition from the ones that was coming from the pavement. Like, it's almost too easy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like nowadays, man, you could be being, like, it's a lot of rappers. Like, I could go down the list. Being on the back of a car, fresh out of jail, I mean, a day out of jail, being on the back of a car on their chest and go viral. Next 2-3 days, they flew out to a record label, 2 and 3 record labels back to back. So I feel like it's a lot easier, but at the same time, it's a crutch. Because once you get in the game and you be at that height, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what the bottom feel like or what. A lot of them, they don't know how to adapt to that and work themselves back up. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like the social media thing it was something super great because it made it easier. It made it easier to be heard, to be seen. But at the same time, if you do bubble and pop and you ain't got the right team, the right people around you, just the right foundation in general, it's so easy to fall off, man. It's super easy. It's so easy to get on, but it's even easier to fall off because once you stop and somebody right behind you, coming, they ready to take your spot more so than back then, huh?
They're creeping up on you.
Yeah, creeping up on. So more so back then, you really had to work. Like it wasn't 30 rappers buzzing at one time. You had Jay, Pop, Biggie, and Rakim. You know what I'm saying? It was like, all right, your shot. and then he go his shot. Now it's 50 of us buzzing at one day. You feel what I'm saying? That one is that easy now, buzzing at one time. But the ones that I feel like come from that era, those the ones that last. The Drakes, the Waynes, J. Cole's, I can even say Travis Scott. You feel what I'm saying? I done did my research. You know what I'm saying? Just rappers in that general that come from that pedigree, they know the hustle behind it. So I feel like I said, it's easy, but it's too easy. It's a crutch now.
Yeah. It's definitely given artists more visibility and for people to connect like us to do this interview and just other ways for fans to see what you're coming out with in the future, promotion aspects. And I think an important factor, as you mentioned before, knowing the CD game, because you that's where you started with the CD game. So having
the CD game,
yeah,
had to get out there and hump the CDs,
yeah.
man. Posted up at the store, Lord, being on the road with a book bag full of CDs, heavy as hell, man. Trying to pass out some damn CDs.
You don't miss that.
Heck nah, man. Heck nah. But it prepared me for when I take losses, though. It prepares me when something don't go right. It prepares me when something like, damn, it could have been bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because you had somebody your CD, 30 minutes later, you walk past the same spot, your CD on the ground. You feel what I'm saying? You get that same feeling, but it give you that bitch like, man, I got to go harder. I got to make them feel me. I got to make them want to grab my damn CD and pump my shit. So I just feel like it teaches you, it just prepares you for a lot of things.
And just thinking of like this, what happens if social media were to go away? What happens if social media is just a trend? Then you know how to go back to the CDs and handle that. So how all these other rappers out here that are just doing everything for the gram going to handle it at the end of the day?
Just flocking around. That's all they doing, just flocking around. And even nowadays, like you got some rappers, they don't even want to hit the roads like that. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want to be, man, I do my show and come back home, get my, nah, man, like when you really in this industry, man, it's work in this shit. Like it's more than just a goddamn, you going to the studio and you goddamn recording. You feel what I'm saying? Like interviews, people just like, well, I mean, I can do an interview, I can talk to people out there, but shit, you get to that point, you're talking about 30 damn people right after each other. I get off, I gotta go to another. I get off, I gotta go to another. You saying the same damn shit, and it's repetitive for 4-5 months. Shit get tiring. You feel what I'm saying? But that's what you sign up for. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I feel like rappers, the vlogging era need to come back. Yeah. Showing the behind the scenes, like, all right, this is what you really stepping into. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with what you said. I definitely agree.
Yeah, I think so. I think if social media were just to go away, I don't know how many rappers wouldn't be popping as they are right now. And you see the whole drill movement going on, I'm sure, because you study everything. What's your opinion on the whole drill movement?
I like it.
Yeah.
It was like Chief Keef went, man. And Chief Keef came out. Me and my cousins and my partners was the biggest Sosa fan. Like that whole GBE clique, like we were super fans. But it was something so new. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think that was a trend. I just think it was like a new genre of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you either gonna get with it or you ain't. You either gonna listen to it or you're not. Like I just feel like drill music is something that's it's its own. You know what I'm saying? It's just its own thing. Yeah, you feel me? Like it's just something like, damn, this shit kind of. Once you start listening to that phrase, you kind of be like, man, I don't really understand. I don't really get. But once you start listening to the beats, how they hit it, like, this shit kind of hard, man. And I'm noticing like certain places starting to do it, but they got their own tweak to it. You feel what I'm saying? Like New York, they drill scene super hard. Chicago, super hard. So I fuck with the drill scene, definitely.
Yeah. Could you do a collab with an artist, or I know you're not big on features. You're probably gonna try a drill track, perhaps?
Oh hell yeah! I get on, man. It'd be a Florida drill movement there. Most definitely. I definitely work with some drill artists.
Yeah, I definitely like to see that happen. I think you're heading the right direction because you're open to all avenues. There's some people that are closed-minded. No, I just want to sound this way.
Most definitely. Boxing themselves pretty much.
Like you said, the industry is becoming a box.
Everybody want to be the next so and so, or just because he did it. Like, and I think that's another crutch in the game. It just, like I said, just go back to what type of environment you from. It's like, if he did it and I do it, they expect the same results. You feel what I'm saying? And 9 out of 10, we ain't got the same team. We ain't got the same marketing. We ain't got the same label putting the same support behind us, the same management's. Like, I think, like I said, I just feel like that's the side of the game that artists need to show more. And I think it'll break this whole scenario of, I got to do this, I got to look like this, I got to sound like this to be this. I think once that happened, they really start showing proof of what the hell going on and how shit is done and the team that they got behind them. A lot of artists and creators will start being a lot more open-minded, a lot more wise, strategic moves. I even think that the way that music is done and the way that it sounds will start changing, like really completely. Like, I think people be more open to even working with each other because they see how much work go into this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that could really, you know what I'm saying? If that ends up happening, like, I think we'll start seeing a whole different movement going on.
Yeah, I think so too. I really do. But getting back to the project now, who designed the album cover for it?
Dollars and Designs, my boy. Straight out of Florida.
And how would you say it defines the project as a whole?
I pretty much, when I told him that when I wanted to design, I said, because the first one and the second one, it was actually the sincerely, like, it was being written in such a say. I was like, I wanted to be as in,
so people know right there.
Most definitely. I feel like I said I want to be the sincerely. Like, when they look at it, I'm the message. I'm the last thing that they gonna see. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I wanted it just to be painted as if, like I said, the end of the document, when you say sincerely, woo-woo, that's the end of the letter. Like, when they look at it, they like, man, this is the end of this series. Like, I'm looking at the sincerely. Like, that's just like saying if sincerely was a person. Yeah. That's me. Basically, to short it up, that's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. And as far as performances go, I know with the whole coronavirus thing going on, I heard it's getting bad in Florida, right? You staying in the house?
Crazy. Say that again?
You staying inside?
Oh, yes, sir. If I'm supposed to be there, I ain't there. I got a little daughter. Like, nah, if I ain't supposed to be there, and it's sad and crazy because everything that opened back up, like, clubs, everything, full time, and it's like, the news done died down now. So it's like everything opening back up. A lot of people that don't really pay attention and stuff, they think everything fine now.
Yeah, people are like, I just did an interview the other day. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. He'll probably hate me for it. It's like, he'll just, he was saying to me, he was like, yeah, you know, everything's good now. We just got over this pandemic, got over it. I don't think we just got over it.
It's getting worse. It's 10 times worse than that.
Yeah, got over it. Like, I interviewed him. He's from New York, and I was just like, got over it. I don't see that.
It's 10 times worse, super worse.
And I think there's things that the people in the media and just in the government that are holding back from us. We don't know anything about this virus.
Nothing. Only thing that you really hear is stay inside or wear a mask. And they not take vitamins. They not. You know what I'm saying? Like, the little basic stuff where people can understand. Well, like I said, it was crazy to me. I think they showed a picture, all the toilet tissue gone, but all the vitamins and everything that you need to fight, you know what I'm saying? Just if you get affected by it or something like that, it's still there. I'm like, and you don't hear the news talking about it at all. You feel what I'm saying? So I just think we misled a lot and misinformed a lot. And don't pay attention enough. If that makes sense.
I agree with that. And they're believing like what the president says, and that he's not a scientist. I'm sorry. He's just
most down.
I don't know. He's not even a president in my mind.
The same as that way over here. The same as that way over here.
I don't know why people are listening to him. I mean, the world's going to come to an end if we do that. I mean, That's just a whole other episode we could do on that monster.
Most definitely.
Just like, how are the protests doing in Florida? People are still out there protesting?
It done died down now. It was powerful and strong for like, I say about a good week, and now it just, man, I ain't gonna say it's back to normal, but it's damn near back to normal.
I think people should still be marching. The more they march, the more change comes about. But I mean, with this whole Corona thing going out there, I mean,
and that's where, not to cut you off, I think that's where social media has put a crutch on society. I don't have to go out there and march. I can see what the hell going on from my computer, my TV screen, or my phone. I ain't got to be out there. When you take away that device, and that's like when they say stuff spread like word of mouth, spread like Wi-Fi, word of mouth. You gonna get your eyes up and be like, man, I want to go see what the hell going on. What? They doing this, they doing. Man, I got to go out there. More so than I can look at it from my device in the comfort of my home. Ain't got to worry about nothing. I just think, like I say, social media, it got its pros and it got some super big ass cons as well.
Yeah, I agree. There's pros and cons to a lot of things, including social media, like you mentioned. But an artist is yourself. You know, you can advocate. You have a voice. Have you put anything together or wrote anything down? I know you're not a big writer because you feel as though you just do it on the spot. It's more of yourself. It's more raw. It's more what's on the spot, what you're feeling. But are you going to release a track or something in the future that just represents what's going on right now and speaking on the issues in society?
I've been talking to my team about it. Like I think, like I just don't want to be. I'm a person of, excuse me. If you talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to be one of those people. Well, I'm not one of those people where I put out a record and I'm saying all of these things, but I'm not out there physically.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I don't like the contradicting. I don't like the hypocrite shit. I don't fuck with shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? If I'm not directly involved, I step away and won't speak about it. I hate for somebody to call me out, bro. You talking about all this, that. That's like in the streets. Man, you talking about all this shit and you ain't even doing it. Oh, and that's what a respect, that's what you lose the respect for. I respect a person keeping it real. And he's saying, nah, I ain't gonna talk about it because I ain't out there. I give 100% respect up for him to him. More so than a motherfucker, he doing all this shit here, taking pictures and woo, he's shooting videos, got songs out of everything, but never been out there on the front line with them folks. Never even said a word to anything about, you know what I'm saying, even learning or trying to dive into the shit. So it's kind of like one of those things right now. It's like, I want to do it, but I want to do it in the right way, if that makes sense. You feel what I'm saying? I just don't want, I don't want to come out the wrong way.
Yeah. I understand that, because like you said, if I'm not really out there, why am I going to be fronting?
Most definitely. Big front.
It's always important to stay true to yourself. And that's the main thing. That I think that's why as a listener, I find your music appealing.
I definitely appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate it.
I think that's why, definitely. And I know you had a meet and greet, I believe, set up, but now it's postponed or something like that, right?
This was recent?
Yeah, I think so. On your social media, hold on, I'm gonna check on your social media real quick to double check, because I believe you had something planned. Hold on, let me see. No, you didn't. I thought you did.
I was like, let me know. Let me go double check real quick. Let me go check the calendar.
Because I went through a profile. I must have got it switched up with another interview I got next week. But did you have any performances lined up?
Nope. No performances. We getting supposed to be getting like a press now that everything opening back up, trying to get this press run together because let me hush. We'll have the back channel. We'll back channel on what I had to catch myself. We'll back channel on that part there. But we got some stuff coming in the place, some big stuff coming into place. So I will be, moving around. Probably be out there in New York soon too as well. So I definitely be, back moving around and stuff like that as, just shit start opening back up in the companies and all these companies start running like they, how they usually did and shit like that. So definitely.
Yeah, you got to come in the station too, because I'm in my home studio doing it live right now. Because I'm the only one holding down the fort here for my station at my
Oh,
college.
hell yeah.
You got to come.
Definitely come show love.
Yeah, you got to come in when you're in New York. We got to get your performance, perform for the basketball game, get involved in that New York culture, get you a St. John's jersey. Because you got the Florida jersey on.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's so crazy. I've been to New York one time, and that's when I went to Atlanta. And it's something that, man, I can't even, man, it's something so brand new to me. Like, I never seen nothing like New York. Like, nothing. Nothing. Like, I don't know if you ever been to Florida or not, but it's like you walking into another earth. Literally. Like, it is buildings that being that damn tall and
Yeah, I know. They're
all the
reaching the sky.
the culture and everything. Like, man, it's some of everybody up there. You know what I'm saying? So New York was it was a crazy experience. Like, I loved it. Definitely loved it. I tell you one thing though, you can't drive like you want to up there.
Yeah, no.
In certain spots, there be too many darn people, man.
Yeah. There's too many people. You gotta walk or take the subway, because I'm from Connecticut originally. So when I first came to New York, I was like, the subway, that's just a whole different life for me. It's like, and you don't even know where you're going. There's like different platforms, different signs telling you where you go. You gotta take the L, you gotta take the E or whatever.
Man, got lost. I've been lost.
Yeah, that's my fear, getting lost on a subway. If I get lost there, I don't know where I'm gonna be going.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Now, from someone that hasn't been to Florida like myself, what do you think that New Yorkers could find attractive and appealing about Florida?
There's a lot of stuff, man. Women, the food, the culture in general, the weather. Man, you want to see some sunny skies? You want to see some sunny skies, and it's hot. I mean, it get hot down here. You know what I'm saying? But it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what part of Florida you in. Nah. You don't want to come to Tallahassee. It's a small, very small city, and we're mostly a college town, but it get down in Tallahassee. Like our murder rate done been through the roof because it's so small. Like I said, I tell people this all the time. I was like, being from a small, I said I'll watch a person that's from a small city before I watch somebody that's from a big city. Being from a small city, you know where everybody live, you know where everybody at. It's too easy to get in touch with them. It's too easy to touch them. You feel what I'm saying? More so than being from a big city. And the whole north side is the size of my town. You ain't even got to the other parts of town. So if you beefing with somebody, it's 9 out of 10 chance you only see them every blue moon, or if y'all at an event and y'all both there, woo and go down there. Nah, back home, it's like, it's a problem, but we pulling up right then and there. It take us 5 minutes to get over there. I had 5 minutes to get back. It take 5 minutes to call some boys up. Take some 5 minutes to handle it, and we get the hell on. You know what I'm saying? So Tallahassee is one of those cities. It's sweet, but you don't want to be caught in the wrong place at the wrong time type shit. And Florida, that's how Florida is as a whole. Like, it's fun down here. You know, we get, you know, like I know, a lot of tourists, you know, stuff like that. It's a fun spot to be in, but at the same time, you just gotta know where the hell you at and what the hell going on at that, you know, that time or place. But it's fun down here, man. You'll get in, you'll fit in, like, it's in the other, you know what I'm saying? You as soon as you get down here, you start thinking, like, all right, okay, this the culture. Like, man, we well, I ain't gonna say friendly, depending on, like I said, go back to where you at. You know what I'm saying? But it's fun down here, man. I love Florida.
Yeah. I definitely it's gonna be on my bucket list. Hopefully not my bucket list when I'm in my 60s, but then maybe
Most definitely.
So I can get down there and see what it's like. Go to a Miami Heat game, even though I'm a Knicks fan. I'd like to go see the Miami Heat play.
Most definitely.
Are you a Heat fan or are you a Magic fan?
I'm not even no sports fan, to be honest. Like, I support anything that's from Florida. Like, whether
you
it's
have a Gator jersey on, right?
Yep. Florida Gators. And I don't even know who the name is on the jersey. I don't even know what the number. I just love Florida shit in general. Like, I ain't really never been a huge sports fan. I played sports, but like really knowing the players or they stats and all that stuff there. I watch it every, you know what I'm saying, blue moon. But anything from Florida, man, I support. I be out there like I know the shit.
Favorite athlete that played for a Florida team, if you could name one, who would it be?
Dwayne Wade when he was playing.
When he was on the Heat.
When he was on the Heat. Lamar Jackson before he went to Baltimore. I love Percy Harvin from we played for the Gators before he went to the Vikings.
Yep.
Tim Tebow was crazy.
Yeah.
And what's his name? He played for the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. James Winston. Yeah, Winston. When he played for Florida State, man, I seen it was lit. We were lit in Tallahassee. Boy, look, we'll kill you by James back in Tallahassee, man. It was crazy, but yeah, those pretty much the ones that I know of that I can, just know off the bat.
Have you been to a sporting event like a Buccaneer game?
I done been to plenty of Florida State games. I believe that's it. There's Florida State games. Oh, and Gators like basketball when they come to the city when it's a home game or something like that. Oh. But that's pretty much it. Basketball, like a couple of the basketball games and a couple of the football games. And that's pretty much it.
Jameis Winston play in person then?
Huh?
You've seen Jameis Winston in person play for Florida State?
Oh yeah. I think I went to one game when he played for Florida State. I think did we lose? I think we lost. I think when I seen that game when he played, I believe that we lost. I forgot who we played, but I think we had lost. Man, he was a beast though, man. He was a monster.
Yeah, I definitely. People give him a lot of criticism. I think if he turned his game around, just watched his turnovers, he could be a good quarterback.
Most definitely. Got a super arm. That nigga got an arm.
Yeah. He does.
Most definitely.
I take him on my team. I'm a Jets fan, so, I mean, I take him there.
New York Jets.
Yep. It's rough, but.
What's up, man?
I mean, we basically covered everything, I believe. Everything from the new album, just the music business and everything. Anything else you'd like to get out on the show here tonight?
I mean, y'all follow me, man, at the real Tyte, man. We got a lot of stuff coming up, man. More projects, like, we finna flood this year. Like, now that this shit done kind of lifted up, man, y'all finna see some game changers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, more than anything, like, I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm grateful, like, for this interview, just everything. Like, if I could, like I say, just leave this whole interview with anything, I don't care if you're a rapper, producer, interviewer, or show host, just anything, medical field, anything, like, put your best foot forward, dog, and trust in God. You feel what I'm saying? Put your best foot forward, and like what you said earlier, the energy that you give out, I'm a true believer that's the energy that you're going to receive, dog. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I say, man, whatever that you're choosing to do in your life, give it 100%. Like, don't be that old-ass person that I wish I would have, you know what I'm saying? Or I wish I would have did that. Like, go after your dreams, man. Especially if you're young. Go after your dreams. Run after them.
Like you said before, follow you on Instagram and Twitter at The Real Tyte, Tyte. And for the people that don't know, I know the story, but if you want to tell the story of why your name is spelled the way it is, because I believe I believe your father was called a name similar to that, right?
Tyte with a K. He got it. It's from the short story. It was an old dude when he was growing up. We used to call him Tyte with the K. And when I got up in age, like around about 7 to 8 years old, he changed it and started calling me Tyte. But the reason behind the word Tyte, back in the day, like the old words used to be like, man, what you got on tight? Like what we call swag or sauce or drip or whatever that we call it back then. It was like, man, that's tight what you got on. And like my pops always kept me well dressed. Like even to this day, like I make sure I'm presentable. You feel what I'm saying? I'm well dressed or whatever that the case scenario be. So that's pretty much the role of what my name represents and where it comes from.
Mm-hmm. And one more question before I let you go here. And you just dropped a new project. Has there been any big artists that have reached out to you in support of the new project?
Hot Boys. Turk from the Hot Boys, Cash Money Millionaires. He reached out for Hot Boy. We got some we see that's a touchy situation because we got some big stuff coming up. And they don't like the team don't want me really discussing about it, right now. But it just be like it's gonna get crazy, man. It's some big stuff, some super big stuff set in stone, man. Like we just like I say, it's about timing right now. You know what I'm saying? Especially like I say, I think the game finna have that super wave come where it's like it's music everywhere because a lot of stuff done been pushed back because of this COVID. You know what I'm saying? COVID virus and stuff like that. So like I say, it's timing with everything now. Like it's probably about to be a couple of weeks coming. So many artists is dropping on the same damn day. I mean, it's gonna be flooded with music. So to answer that question, we got some big stuff, like some big stuff coming, man. Big stuff.
That's good. That's good. I'm going to keep in touch with you, Tyte. I want to thank you for joining me on my show here tonight and just talking about the project much more, growing up in Florida, everything we discussed here. And, stay safe out there. I got the project in the rotation on my personal station as well, Live 365. We're back on campus grounds once the whole...
That's real.
I'll get that up there for you as well. Get it played around campus at events. I could do that for you. And like you said, work, you got to come in.
Most definitely, man. So I promise, as soon as I come through New York, man, the first one I'm hitting. Definitely the first one.
Over Flex? What?
Man, I got to come, man. I got to see. I don't follow the hype, dog. Like I said, if you're a real individual, you're a down-to-earth person, man, I don't give a damn if you the motherfucker. I give two fucks about the president now, but I'm just saying that in general, if you the damn president, like I'm going to go fuck with who that's working their ass off and trying to come up. You feel what I'm saying? That's what you get the respect from. You feel me? So, like I said, when I'm in New York, definitely gonna be hearing a call from me. And let me know if you need the cleans too. If you need, I don't know how y'all.
Yeah, if the cleans, yeah, definitely. So I can get that played more around campus with the clean because you'll hear the complaints. So.
Most definitely, I get that I send that over to you ASAP. Definitely ASAP.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you back on the gram right now, and I'm gonna keep in touch with you. I'll send you my number and everything. We're gonna lock in. We'll get everything pushing and moving out here.
That's a bet, my G. I definitely appreciate you having me, man. You be safe.
No doubt. You too. Like I said, I'm gonna promote this interview as soon as I get it posted here on the YouTube after the live stream right here, and we're gonna get it moving. And everyone out there, support Sincerely 3. It's on all platforms. Make sure you go check it out. Just dropped one of the best tapes that just dropped this week. New releases, and I definitely think that people are gonna rock with it for the rest of the summer because you know how people are. They want that new music. So I definitely think it's like the attention of a gnat. The attention span is just on to the next one as soon as next week comes. But I think this one will stick with people, especially from Florida.
Most definitely. Definitely appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
No doubt. Tyte. Take care, and we'll be in touch.
All right, that's a bet, my G. Be safe.
Yeah, you too.